Good evening. Hope you had a wonderful Tuesday. We are in 2 Corinthians 9. And how would you rate yourself as far as being generous? Do you like to share? Or would you say you're one to collect and hoard? Or you are pretty liberal and just, hey, if you find out someone needs something, you're just quick. I remember hearing Mr. Fred Rogers, right, deceased, or Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, and he was able to reach so many accolades in life, right? Being able to speak on behalf of the children's media. Back in the 50s, he went before Congress in some hearings, and all the way until the 2000s, had this stellar career. And we were able to visit his museum or exhibit in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, right outside of Pittsburgh. But I'll never forget what he said. He said, I don't need to keep a lot of money. I try to give it away, and I might have, I think I read like $10,000 to my name. Now we're talking about Mr. Rogers, an international person, celebrity, if you will. But he said at one time, it was either $10,000 to his name or $1,000, but he would just give it away. And we can think of so many other people, Mother Teresa, how she opened up schools and she just constantly gave to the poor and nuns. She was a nun and just dedicated her life to service and those who were without. And like I said, we could go on and on and on. Mary McLeod Bethune, being Women's History Month, how she opened up a school and was just dedicated to enriching the lives of others. So just ask, what is our commitment level as far as enriching other people's lives? In Chapter 9, familiar verse, he who soweth sparingly shall reap sparingly, and he's who soweth bountifully shall return great things. And that's in verse 6. And it talks about a cheerful giver in 7. Focusing on verse 8. God is able to make all grace abound towards you, that ye always having all sufficiency in all things may abound to every good work. I was drawn to that verse tonight. In other words, that verse means God's constant overflowing kindness will overtake you because you are always blessing, enriching the lives of others, especially the poor. And in verse 9, talks about, he said, she or he have dispersed abroad, right? Across the seas, maybe internationally to third world countries. And she or he had given to the poor, his or her righteousness remaineth forever to the following generation and the next generation. So we know that some people tithe that way. Maybe they might not give their offerings into a specific ministry inside a church, but they choose to send their monies, their resources across the land. God honors that. And in verse 10 says, now he or she that ministereth seed to the sower, both minister bread for their food and multiply their seed and increase the fruits of righteousness. So it is just a blessing, and you'll see it for a long time. And then you will see so many benefits in your lifetime, and you won't see some benefits that your grandchildren might experience, or your neighbors, or people, maybe your students. But they're untold benefits. In verse 11, being enriched in everything to all bountifulness, which causes through us thanksgiving to God. So the three words that I would want to leave, starting with G, is the gift. The gift, it ends in this chapter with verse 15. Thanks be unto God for his unspeakable gift. Every good and perfect gift is from the Father of lights, right? And We know in James 1:17, it says, with whom is no variableness. He's a father of lights. He's a creator of the sun, the moon, the shadows, everything. And he doesn't change. There's no variableness. He's constant. He is faithful. Neither shadow of turning. He will not change. He will not take it back. So he's the gift, everything that we get from him. He expects us to be generous with the blessings that he has sown in our life, and the grace of God. That is in verse 8. God is able to make all grace, unmerited favor, to multiply increasingly with exponential value. I hope you have a wonderful evening, enjoying all of God's gifts, his grace, and know that he is the giver of everything. Enjoy.